I'm back. Okay, now look. Today, I'm going to show y'all how to make a quick chicken salad. It's almost springtime, so it's time to just go on ahead and make some things that can be light on the stomach, but quick and delicious. You can meal prep it and just go on ahead and continue on with your day. You're going to need some eggs. I have a 5-pound whole bird here, crushed red pepper flakes, the herbes de Provence. If you don't have that, you can use thyme, you can use rosemary, you can use bay leaf. That's completely up to you. If you are not able to find that, that's completely fine. Sweet relish. I also have Duke's mayonnaise. When I make my chicken salad, it has to be made with Duke's, a cucumber, onion, celery. You see that? You see that? You see that? Don't ask me for the damn ingredient list. Come on. The chicken, of course, has already been washed. You want to cover the chicken completely with water. To the pot, I'm going to add in 4 stalks of celery that I've cut in half. I'm also going to add in 1 large onion. I've also gone in and I've added in 2 tablespoons of the herbes de Provence, some crushed black pepper, and a little bit of pink Himalayan salt. Once this comes up to a boil, I'm going to place the top on it and reduce the temperature down and allow it to cook for roughly about an hour to an hour and a half, or until the internal temperature of the breast part of the chicken reaches 165. While your chicken is cooking, go ahead and boil off 4 large eggs. While your chicken is cooking, you can also go ahead and start to prep your veggies. Now, this is all a matter of preference. I love the aspect of both celery and onion in my chicken salad, but I do not like a whole bunch of it. So I'm only going to be using 3 stalks of celery, half of the onion, but I love cucumbers in mine. So I'll likely be using this entire cucumber. I'll let you guys know exactly how much once I get it all chopped up. So to my bowl, I'm going to add in a half a cup of the finely minced celery. I have a little less than half a cup of minced onion. And this is just a matter of preference. When I add cucumbers to my chicken salad, which if you've never done, trust the process. It is something about the crispiness and the freshness of a cucumber mixing with chicken salad that is just divine. But what I like to do is I like to core out all of the seeds from the center so that I'm just left with just the crispy cucumber and not a lot of the mushy seeds and all of that. So that's a matter of preference. If you don't mind it, you can keep it whole. Let's mince these down. And again, you don't have to go crazy with it. Don't go digging out all of the flesh. You're just simply getting out just the seeds part. You can discard this. This we want to keep. As you can see, I've gone ahead and diced down 1/2 of the cucumber. This other half I'm going to keep because I think I want to slice that on my sandwich fresh. But this half here, we can go on ahead and pour directly into our bowl. And now you've got all of your veggies done. So now you can just put a lid on this and plop it in the fridge while you're waiting for your chicken and for your eggs to finish cooking off. Now that your eggs are all done and have cooled off, we can go on ahead and chop these down as well. And before we go to add in the eggs, I would just like to mention that I don't always add in eggs to mine. I just simply do it from time to time if I want to have like an extra protein boost. But if you do want to keep it a little bit cleaner, or if you're watching your cholesterol, just don't use the yolks. You can just use the whites. But I'm not as concerned about that. So I'm going to go ahead and add all of that in the bowl. All right, you guys, so my chicken has been cooking for about an hour and a half. It is completely done at this point. I'm going to safely and gently remove it out of the pot and sit it on a platter. Now, if I were you, don't throw away that broth. That's some great broth. You can allow the broth to fully cool down, skim off any of the fat, and then put it in the freezer and use it for a different day or for a different recipe. Also, note, you can either choose to wait for your chicken to fully cool down before you decide to shred it, or you can shred it while it's hot. That's completely up to you. Of course, you're going to fully remove all of the skin and then just shred all of the meat. And yes, I'm going to use a combination of both white and dark meat. So let me go on ahead and get this out of the pan. And again, if I were you, I wouldn't throw that broth away. I would keep that. That's some good stuff right there. Alrighty, now that I've taken the chicken out of the pot, I'm going to allow this to cool down enough for me to be able to handle it. But either way, before you decide to add it to the rest of your vegetables or start to add in any mayonnaise, it does need to be completely cooled off. You do not want to spoil the mayonnaise or start to cook any of the vegetables or any of that. So either way, you need to make sure that it's completely cool before you start to combine it with any of the other ingredients. And that, my friends, is how you break down a chicken. Just like that, nothing but bones, child. And now I have my bowl full of my meat, and I like to do this while it's somewhat hot. It just comes off the bone a lot easier. So now I'm going to go in with 2 forks and just shred this up a little bit. I've gone ahead and shredded up my chicken, but I just wanted to make it a point to remind you guys that I only cooked this for an hour and a half. I think oftentimes people think that you can't overboil chicken, and you absolutely can. It will turn into the texture of chalk, essentially. So you don't want to overcook your chicken. This still is nice and juicy, nice and tender. And now that I've shredded it, it's nice and cool. We can go on ahead and now add it to our mixing bowl. Let's go on ahead and dump in all of that beautiful chicken. Now, as far as the sweet relish is concerned, you can add in as much or as little as you would like, but I don't understand the concept of eating no sweet chicken salad, so I do not add a lot of this, nor do I add in additional sugar. But you do what your heart desires. I'm probably only going to add about maybe 1.5 tablespoons worth. That's just enough for me. The same rule applies for the mayonnaise. I do not want it soupy, so I'm just going to add it in little by little, and then I can always add in more. So I'm going to start off with about 4 rounded tablespoons of mayonnaise and then mix it, and then I'll add in more as I need it. And like I said, you can always gradually add in more. You don't want to have too much mayonnaise to start off with, so just start with a little and then add in more as you need it. As you're mixing it, you can then go in and taste for any additional salt and pepper. But as you can see, this is the perfect consistency for mayonnaise for me. I don't want any more than this. And now that it's all done, I will go in with just a light dusting of paprika right across the top, not too much. And because I like an element of heat, I add in a few dashes of crushed red pepper flakes across the top as well. And just like that, you have yourself some absolutely delicious homemade chicken salad. I topped it off with some paprika and crushed red pepper flakes. Baby, I'm about to tear this up. I hope y'all try this recipe because let me tell you something. It's simple, yet super, super delicious, and it's much better than buying it from the grocery store at $20 a pound. Bye. Baby, y'all know I was going to give y'all a taste. And it's so much better than eating it with bread. Look at that. Crushed red pepper flakes. The crunch, the freshness of the cucumber. Imagine getting a cucumber fresh out the garden.